I'm really excited. I've got Robert Merrill here, who is the Director of Partner Enablement at Elements.cloud. And we're just launching a certification. So I thought I'd spend some time catching up with Robert to understand what's the certification about, how difficult is it to pass, why would you even want to pass it? So Robert, thank you for joining us.
Oh, you're quite welcome. Thank you.
So first of all, why have we launched a certification?
We launched certification because we want to make sure that our partners are the most experienced and the most skilled partners using our platform, and basically ensure that our customers also, our mutual customers, are successful also. We want our customers to feel assured that they have the most skilled people um, providing services for implementation and also insights into their existing Salesforce implementations.
So this feels like the certification actually will be something you'd want to shout about on LinkedIn, and actually it's something positive to add to your resume.
Absolutely. This is something that people could definitely earn a badge for and promote on social media. And this is definitely going to add to their skills, because it's not just providing just-in-time training. This is an in-depth program, going to be 3 levels, and they're going to be in-depth. It's not just going to be requiring that you take a training course, review a video online. It's something that once you earn it, you will be able to leverage it and distinguish yourself amongst your other peers and competitors, to be honest, as an advantage, a competitive advantage.
So this sounds like it's more than another trailhead badge.
Absolutely. This is something that you will follow you. It's similar, but it's definitely more than another badge. It's more than just taking training and taking a quick 3-question quiz. It's going to be structured again. There's going to be 2 parts. There's going to be a written or virtually written question and answer portion, and then you will have to present your findings. We will provide an environment for the enrollees where they will presented use case scenarios and questions where they'll have to present their findings back to Elements, and they'll also have to demonstrate the ability to use Elements. So we're going to ask them to do some configuration, some reporting, and of course, discover the insights of a Salesforce org in the metadata.
Oh, hang on. So that sounds like a lot more than just, can I read some text and answer some multiple choice questions? It almost sounds like more than a super badge as well. You said you've got to do some written work, you've got to use Elements, then you've got to present that back to presumably someone inside the Elements team and they will determine certification.
Absolutely, yes. The certification is going to be based on their demonstrated ability to present their findings and their knowledge of how to navigate and use, of course, as well as Elements.
Okay, so quick question. Is this just about the functionality of Elements, or do you actually need some domain expertise to be able to use this?
You'll definitely need some domain expertise. Obviously, this is mostly around the functionality around the metadata explorer is mostly around knowledge of the Salesforce platform. But you'll definitely need to be familiar with Elements and having some hands-on experience. It's not something you could just jump into without preparation. But we do have study guides available for the certifications, where if you follow the study guides, it'll probably take you anywhere from 3 to 4 hours to go through all the study guide points.
Okay, so but you talked about producing some work and then presenting that back. How's that going to work?
So yeah, very good question. So essentially, we're setting up a playground, if you will, where there's going to be a space that we will share with the person who wants to be certified. And that space will be connected to one of our sandbox Salesforce environments. So it's essentially, it is a true playground where It's going to be dedicated to that person. We will maintain it and curate it, so it's going to be refreshed every time somebody needs to work in that playground. And they will be able to essentially navigate through it, create whatever materials they need to. And then if they want to, they can record it, create a presentation, but it's definitely going to be a hands-on experience in a simulated, but very close to real life environment.
Okay, so that org's going to be pretty messy. It's not going to be your classically, I've created a dev org and it's nice and clean.
Oh, correct. It's not going to be a trial org, clean org. It's definitely going to be a highly configured, complex org.
Okay. So what are the prerequisites to, I mean, you said it was aimed at either consultants or I mean, practitioners who are working as employees inside customers, but do I need Salesforce admin as a cert, or do I need to be a business analyst?
I would recommend that you understand, obviously, the Salesforce platform. That's a key. You need to know the fundamentals of what the structure is and what their data model is, I would say,
Right.
and the automation features that come with Salesforce out of the box. And definitely for business process design, you want to be familiar with business process diagramming and mapping. And we do provide a lot of enablement and training materials on UPN diagramming. And Salesforce also has a course on their Trailhead for UPN diagramming, which is based on um, a lot of materials that we also developed at Elements. So heavily recommend going through that, going through the courses. It's part of the study guides, the foundations and the fundamentals of business process diagramming and process-led change and change intelligence. One of the key things that I like to mention is that it's not just about hands-on configuration, but it's also about being able to communicate the business value, the value proposition of change intelligence in general. Why is that important? Being able to tell a customer or any stakeholder why change intelligence is important and what's the value it provides. So that's all incorporated into both the written, and that's one of the reasons why we have the hands-on practice where they're presenting back to us, is because we want to make sure they can communicate that. That's the most important thing, I think, that we need to make sure our customers, our partners, are able to communicate to our mutual customers, is the value of change intelligence and why it can help them provide more effective and optimize their change management practices.
Okay, so would I expect everybody who takes it to pass?
My approach is to make sure that we do have some fundamental questions, but there are some questions that you won't be able to answer unless you've actually done, you've actually had hands-on experience using that specific feature or function on the platform.
But also, unless you understand the context of why you're applying that. So you do need, and if I had not heard about Salesforce and I'm completely new to the ecosystem, or I'm completely new to the business world, would I be able to pass?
I doubt it. No, I doubt it. I think that it would be very hard to pass without a fundamental understanding of the Salesforce platform, without a fundamental understanding of business process, specifically process notation and UPN, which again, you can learn about that in our academy, in the Salesforce Academy, and I'm sorry, in the Elements Academy. And you can learn about Salesforce in Trailhead, but I seriously doubt anybody could pass this exam without having that background.
And that's good, because that means there's some value to this. There's no point having a certificate that you go, I've got my certificate, and then you go, well, everybody else can get that. I mean, there needs to be some hurdles there. It said, unless you are able to apply this and you understand how to apply it,
Right.
and the value of applying the principles, then, and 100% pass success rate, it doesn't show the value of what we're trying to do here.
Right. It's going to be challenging. It's definitely, even the fundamentals, it's going to be a challenge. And like I said, unless you prepare, and unless you have that background, unless you have the background that we talked about with Salesforce platform and the business analysis fundamentals, it's going to be hard to pass. Even if it's going to be, let me put it this way, it'll be hard to understand the materials that I point out in the study guides, because
Yeah.
the materials assume you understand what UPN is, you understand what process-led design is, you understand what metadata is and what it means in Salesforce specifically. So
Right.
yeah, it would be very hard to pass, even if you went through the study guides without that background and knowledge. And yes, it makes it more valuable because we're challenging. We want to challenge our partners.
But I'm also thinking if you're a consultant in the Salesforce world, you probably ought to know the Salesforce platform. You ought to be able to have good, strong business analysis skills. There was a Salesforce Ben article that came out this week that said all the easy Salesforce jobs have gone. And it was like, yeah, they have, because Salesforce has got more complex. It's got, but
Right.
also it's become more strategic. This is
Absolutely.
not 5 users standing up a little Salesforce automation app in the corner.
Right.
This is, building something which is a core strategic application. And therefore, we'd expect the consultants who are working on it to be experienced. You
Right.
can't just rock out and go, I've got 7 badges on Trailhead, I'm good to go. That was never the case, but I think the bar has been raised, and I think this sort of certification actually, again, supports people's knowledge in demonstrating what they can do.
Absolutely. Agree 100%. The days where you could basically plot out a business process on a slide are well beyond us, right?
Yeah.
Now a business process is 7 layers deep, and it incorporates not only sales and marketing, but services and CPQ and data cloud and automations. I mean, things that we could never even think of 10 years ago when Salesforce was still pretty robust being developed. Now we have these automations and GPT and AI that we have to incorporate.
When you think about Flow, Flow is almost Apex code with a nice UI on top of it. At which point, all the developers are throwing their coffee in the air and getting upset. But the point is that Flow is massively capable. But you also think about what we're doing around permissions and profiles in terms of restructuring those security models.
Exactly.
It's a lot more sophisticated now, and I think that the level of tooling that's now available, people like us. Therefore, in Elements, you need the level of support and the level of training. So I know a number of people have been asking for certification. So it's fantastic it's getting delivered. Question is it available now? When is it available?
People can go to academy.elements.cloud, and there is a course called certification course where it has the study guides as well as the written test, and then there is a link where they could also schedule their practical exam.
So this feels like a process. Go to the academy, read the study guides, get ready, take the certification, and then schedule the interview. And
Right.
then at the end, hopefully, if you pass, then you end up certified. You can shout about it on LinkedIn, but more importantly, you know that you've got a yet another certification which has got some real value in the market.
Absolutely.
So this feels like it's mirroring the sort of certifications I'd find inside Salesforce.
Very much so. Yeah.
Excellent. Right, I can't wait to see the people on LinkedIn saying that they passed their certification.
Me either. I'm loving it.
Excellent. So thanks for spending time with me, Robert.
Thank you. Thanks, Ian.